This is the first in a series of short videos that demonstrate the various features in the D-Lev. In this video, I want to go over the user interface, which you can see here it consists of an LCD and a group of encoders that you can turn and press. So you can see that there are two columns here of entries and 4 rows. And similarly, there are 2 columns and 4 rows of encoders below it. So this encoder corresponds to mon up here, this one to vcal, this one to store, load, out, pcal, bank, and this to the D-Lev. So if I turn an encoder, you can see that I'm changing the value associated up here. And if I turn it quickly, it changes much faster. So there's a velocity feature in there that helps you get around, faster. So you don't have to wear out the encoder so much. Another way to get around is with a single encoder is to press it, and it gives you first 0 and then maximum. And this is for an unsigned encoder like mon. Vcal is signed, so if I press it, it takes me to 0, maximum, and then negative minimum. So you can see you can examine the limits if you're unsure by pressing the encoders. And if you notice, these limits are binary. They're not decimal based. And that's because binary is a better fit for the underlying software and hardware. It might take a little getting used to. So the manual describes this too. You can see that the encoders correspond to the various things on the screen. And there are 20 screens that make up the D-Lev user interface. The D-Lev screen here that we're looking at is the first one. The system screen is the last one. So moving around on the screens, we just turn this knob down here, the lower right knob, and that takes us to the various screens. And if I press it, it'll take me to the last one, the first one, just like the other ones do. First one, last one, first one, last one, first one. So pressing, there are a few knobs that don't work the way you would think when you press them. One is the out knob on the D-Lev, the first page. If I press it, that'll initiate not a calibration routine. The store knob here on the first page will initiate a write of the voice preset. And on the last page, pressing this one will initiate a store of the system profile. So that's kind of it. I want to show you the various screens, I guess. We'll just walk through them quickly. This is the main page, and it's a convenience page, having things that you use the most. You might want to offset your octave. You might want to load a new preset. You might want to trim the volume or pitch field. You might want to adjust the volume. You might want to mute it. Those sorts of things are on the first page. The second page is kind of a convenience page too. You can adjust the levels of various things here. The main monitor output, the line output maybe going to your amplifier, kind of a global bass and treble, the pitch preview, oscillator, and noise source levels here. This next page is the pitch preview page, which we'll cover in more depth in another video. This is the MIDI page where you set up the MIDI transmit. This is the volume page where you set up the volume knee, which is a secondary gain break, the velocity, damping of the envelope generator and any resonant filters, and the rise and fall of the envelope generator. The pitch page, it controls the pitch correction algorithm. Noise is the noise generator or the noise source. This is the noise filter. It's a multi-mode filter that can do second and fourth order low pass, high pass, band pass, and notch. This is the first oscillator page. This is the second oscillator page. And this is the multi-mode filter for the oscillator. This is the enharmonic resonator. This is one of the first formant pages. You can see that there are 2 frequencies and 2 levels. There are 2 formants that you can set on this page, and they share a common volume and pitch modulation for the frequencies, and also a common resonance. Here's another page of 2 formants, another page of 2 formants, another page of 2 formants. So there are 8 formants that we can set. This is the volume field setup page for adjusting your volume field. This is your pitch field setup page for adjusting your pitch field. This is the display page. It mainly covers the LED tuner display, but you can also set the LCD backlight here, the brightness of it. And the last page is a system page, and it's kind of a catch-all for various system parameters. So that's that, and we'll go into more detail of other features in future videos. Thanks.